Yo, what is up guys, it's Whitey here and welcome back to the video on the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys some of the best solo drop spots in chapter 3 for games such as Arena and even solo cash cups. I'll also be uploading a follow-up video for the best duo drop spots, so make sure you guys do subscribe so you know when that video releases. Anyways, I'll stop talking now and let's get right into the video. Alright guys, now the first drop spot I'm going to show you guys is the house behind Chonker Speedway. As you guys can see, it's right here at the very edge of the map. And I'm not going to lie, I think this drop is pretty overpowered and probably one of my favorite drops so far. Anyways, as you guys can see, this house pretty much resembles the old John Wick house if you guys remember in Paradise Palms. Alright guys, now a brief overview of this house. There are 11 floor spawns and 5 chests. I'll show you guys where these are later. And you also have 2 car spawns and 1 should probably be guaranteed every single time. Anyways, the fastest way to loot this house is, in my opinion, going down here to the basement and instantly breaking down. There is supposed to be 3 chests down here, except this time it didn't spawn. But yeah, there's supposed to be 3 chests down here in the basement, and then you also have 5 slurp barrels here. So instantly off the bat, you get 3 guns, and you get 50 shield guaranteed. So if you're contested, you're instantly stacked off spawn. Over here, you have a box with the fruits. And there are floor spawns lying around the entire house. You have one more chest in the very corner here. And the most interesting thing is when you go into the vents, you can go inside the walls. There is supposed to be a chest spawn here, but it didn't spawn again. And inside here, there is 1 slurp barrel and 1 more fruit box. Now, what I really love about this place is you almost always can get guaranteed 300 metal at least, probably even 500 if you farm well. And fishing is extremely easy when you head down. You have fishing barrels, and if you do look around, you have a lot of fishing spots over here. So yeah, this is by far one of my favorite drops, pretty overpowered. But anyways, let's get on to the second drop. Alright guys, now moving on to our second drop spot. Again, it's in the sandy area of the map. Now this drop spot isn't as OP as the previous one, but I'll be showing you guys how you guys can easily fight here. So when you guys do land, I would recommend you guys landing on top over here, because this house only has 4 floor spawns and 2 chests. Well, if you're going on here, there's supposed to be 3 chest spawns, but unfortunately they didn't spawn. You have 1 here, 1 supposed to be over here, and another over here. And when you do go down, you actually have a couple of floor spawns. You have a fruit box over here, and you can essentially get like 400 brick off spawn. Keep in mind, you can't actually break this, so you can break the smaller ones, but not this. But anyways, when you're moving down here, you can get 15 cabinets over here guaranteed. More bricks, so you can essentially get 500 brick off spawn here. Couple floor spawns, a campfire. You have a cooler in here, so you can get some chug splashes. Yep, there we go, got chug splashes. There is supposed to be a chest in this corner, so same as all RVs, there's supposed to be a chest here. And this house, again, if you remember the chapter 1 house in the middle of the map in the mountain beside Salty Springs, essentially the same house. You have 1 chest up here, and everything else is floor spawns. As I said, depends on the situation, depends on your luck, but I would probably not land in this house, because when you land up there, you have the higher end advantage, especially if you get an MK7. Anyways, one more thing I want to point out is that you guys can also rotate down here to this area. If this place is uncontested, definitely a very good place for extra loots. But again, the reason why I didn't want to show this spot as a drop spot is essentially if you do land here, you can easily get pushed from up top, as they do have every single advantage on you. Anyways guys, moving on to the third drop spot. Alright guys, on the third drop spot, I want to show you guys, this is actually probably the most overpowered out of all of them. You probably get the most loot out of here, but because of how overpowered it is, it's probably most likely to get contested. But anyways, as you guys can see, it is another house. It is a mansion at the corner of the map. As you guys have probably noticed, these drop spots tend to be houses at the edge of the map. Essentially, you have a whole island with 15 chests in total. The house itself has 10 chests, and this whole island has 30 to 40 floor spots with over half of them in the house. So yeah, that is why this place is extremely overpowered. But not only for that, this place is extremely overpowered for materials as well. As you guys have probably realized, this map doesn't have a lot of metal, and this house is perfect for metal. You have metal railings, metal walls, you have these umbrellas which also give metal. Walls down here, essentially all the walls and railings give you metal. So this is guaranteed 500 metal if you land here and win the spot, which I think is pretty overpowered because metal is actually so valuable recently. Along with this, you also can get max wood from the chains and also the trees around the whole island, and also max brick because you have a lot of rocks here. There's no arguing that this spot is probably one of the most overpowered spots, but again, that is probably why it's so contested. Landing outside actually gives you a fighting chance because you actually have a lot more mats over here. It does take you a while to throw up metal in that house, so if you're out, you can probably easily get 500 wood and 500 brick. And as I said again, there are so many floor spawns in this area. Look around you guys. You guys don't even have to land that house, and you guys will probably be stacked from just running around the map. So anyways, this island is definitely one of the more OP spots I found. Alright, anyways, moving on to the 4th drop spot. Alright guys, drop spot 4, again, one of the houses in the middle of nowhere. Compared to the rest, this house is actually pretty low-key drop because it doesn't have a lot of loot. In total, this drop spot actually has around 4 chests and 11 floor spawns only. That would make the house not as overpowered as the rest, and you wouldn't get as much loot, but I definitely would say it would probably be more uncut than the rest as well. Essentially, this house is a house in the middle of nowhere, right behind Daily Bugle. It's a 3-layered house, and I think wherever you run, you probably get chests and floor spawns. If you guys just run around the house, yeah, you guys would probably find like chests everywhere. So you have a chest down here. Yeah, we've got floor spawns here. There is a floor spawn outside. There's one of these fruit boxes again. But anyways, I would say this house is actually pretty fast to loot. If you could master looting this house fast, you could probably rotate like very fast. You could go here for the barrels. This place would probably give you like around 100 metal just by going here and getting the barrels in the chest. Yeah, so there's 2 barrels over here and the chest hidden in the box. Why are you shooting me, man? Let me record my video, homie. Anyways, nothing really interesting on this house. You can probably loot it in like probably 30 seconds, I'd say. So off the rip, if you loot it fast, you can probably get max wood just from finding these trees. I'll show you guys a couple of different rotation spots. So you guys can probably go over here, set to the barrels, and then move to this house. This house should probably be uncon as well because it has like 2 chests only. Or if you guys want to, you guys can sort of move back. There's sort of a small trailer park over here. There's just a lot of these rocks that you guys can get max brick from. And generally, as long as you loot fast, you guys loot this entire area. So this area that I'm standing in, there should be a lot of floor spots and a lot of chests just behind these rocks and stuff. If you guys want to fish, of course, go down here. So yeah, as I said, this is probably more low-key drop spot, but I definitely like it a lot because as long as you loot the house fast, you know what you're doing. There's so many different paths to explore to get more loot. Moving on to the last drop spot, guys. Alright guys, on to the very last drop spot of the video. This drop spot I would probably say is one of the most riskiest ones because you do have an IO base up here that people do land on. And you also have the whole Logjam lumberland area. But I think that this drop spot is probably worth the risk, and I'll show you guys why. In here, you have 8 floor spawns and 11 chests. Once you guys go in here, you have 3 chests, and you can probably guarantee at least 1 spawning. You have a guaranteed 100% fuel car here, and one of my favorite things about this drop spot is you have 80 HP, 80 shield guaranteed, because you have 8 sword barrels over here. Apart from that, we have the normal stuff. We have chests in the toilets here. You have a whole shop area for the gas station where you have a freezer. Now, if you break the tops, the chests also spawn here, so you have 1 chest over here, and you also have 2. So yeah, essentially in this whole pipe system, you have 2 chests over here. Otherwise, when you head back here, you have the railings and you have the last 3 sword barrels here. You also have quad crashers, a chonky tire, and also probably a 50% chance of a car spawning here. So right after you loot, you can head over here. You do get like a couple of chest spawns. I think 2 chest spawns here and a couple floor spawns. So you can probably farm max wood off the rip as well. Max brick on the edges, so you can go over here and move around the road for brick. If you want to, you could possibly go down here to fish, but you have to check if there's people under here. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be wondering, why didn't you talk about the IO bases? Well, the thing is, there are 5 and 6 of them. I didn't want to cover all of them. All of them are equally as overpowered as they all have rifts, and they all have 300 chests. So as you guys can already tell, it's guaranteed going to be contested, while these spots might not be contested. Anyways, that's been it for the best solo drop spots in Chapter 3. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If it did help you out, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And remember, guys, stay tuned for the best duo drop spots, which I will be releasing in a couple of days. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.